Good morning. Today I am going to explain the chapter polarization. In this chapter, first of all, I am going to talk about what is polarized light, next method of polarization, and next polarization by reflection and refraction method, and finally we are going to talk about what is double refraction. So before going to talk about the polarized light, first of all we should know what is light. Yeah. What is light? A light is nothing but an electromagnetic radiation that can be detected by the human eye. So light is traveling in the form of a crust and trough. Okay. So the light particle will be in the form of crust and trough. We know that light consists of dual nature. Sometimes it is acts as a particle nature and sometimes it is acts as a wave nature. Okay, so this is known as the dual character of the light. On the basis of the phenomenon of interference and diffraction, we know that light is a form of wave only. On the basis of phenomenon of photoelectric effect, we know that light shows a particle nature. Now, polarization is tells us whether a light waves are longitudinal waves or transverse waves. Here, so here this is the introduction of this polarization. On the basis of phenomenon of interference and diffraction, it was established that the light is a form of wave motion. But these phenomenon do not reveal the character of this wave motion. The phenomenon of polarization was discovered that light waves are transverse waves. Okay, so before going to talk about what is polarization, how to get the polarized light by reflection, refraction and double refraction, first of all we should know how this polarized light and unpolarized light are representing. Here representation of various types of light. Here unpolarized light. So unpolarized, generally the ordinary light, also called the unpolarized light, consists of very large number of vibrations in all the planes with equal probability at right angles to the direction of propagation as shown in this figure. So this is the representation of unpolarized light. So unpolarized light will be having a different vibrations in all the planes. Okay, and this is represented by an arrow and dot. This is called the unpolarized light. Now plain polarized light. Plain polarized light is can be explained, and here this is the plain polarized light whose vibrations are parallel to the plane of the paper, and this is also a plain polarized light whose vibrations are perpendicular to the plane of the paper. Here there are two types of lights are there, and those are two are plain polarized light only, and one light whose vibrations are parallel to the plane of the paper, and this is perpendicular to the plane of the paper, and both we are calling as plain polarized light, and this is the unpolarized light representation. Okay, now what is plain polarized light? We know that in plain polarized light, the vibrations are along a straight line. If the direction of vibration in a is parallel to the plane of the paper, it is represented by a straight line arrows as shown in the figure B. If the direction of vibration is perpendicular to the plane of the paper, it is represented by the dot. So this already I shown to you this one. So these are the two types of plain polarized light. This is the description of this one. Now what is polarized light? Here the light which has acquired the property of one sideness is called the polarized light. So this can be done with the help of some particular crystals. Here see, this is the light vibrations which are in the different directions and different planes. When this type of unpolarized light is passing through a particular crystals, then this light vibrations are confined to a single plane. Okay, so that particular wave is known as the plain polarized light. So here the explanation for this one, as shown in the figure A. So this one is the figure A. Here we are getting the plain polarized light by using the two tourmaline crystals here. Okay. Next here, as shown in the figure A, when an ordinary light is passed through a pair of tourmaline crystal plates P1 and P2 with their planes at right angles to the direction of propagation of light. Here, this light is unpolarized light is passing through the two tourmaline crystal with the direction of direction of propagation of light. The intensity is maximum in this position, but when the plane P2 is rotates through 90 degrees, the plane of vibration P2 is perpendicular to the plane P1 as shown in the figure B. The intensity is minimum. In this case, this shows that the light is transverse wave motion. So it is clear that after passing through the crystal P1, the light vibrates only in one direction. It is also one direction, that is, it is polarized because it has acquired the property of one side. Now, just now I told you that is when unpolarized light is passes through a tourmaline crystal or calcite crystal, that is converted into a plain polarized light, and when we rotate the second crystal, then at a certain angle there will be no light. So it means here this is the light vibrations parallel to this plane of the paper, and this crystal is perpendicular, so that time the light wave will not be travel. Here the P2 is determines whether the coming light is polarized or not. Here this one is called the polarizer and this one is called the analyzer. So in the next class we will discuss about what is polarization by reflection.